That is correct. That is absolutely right. Jalen had it right. All right, that is very well done. We'll see.
Bad question.
We expect
That's an easy one.
two of the first three we would expect tonight will be Duke players in the NBA draft. The Zion era will officially begin in New Orleans tomorrow night right here on ESPN.
I got you, Laura.
The 73rd annual NBA draft comes your way 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app from right across the river behind us in Brooklyn.
I don't know the question you were trying to ask.
Be better tomorrow.
I'm not answering that. That's a clown question, bro.
Next. Mike, why are you in such a bad mood? What do you care?
What else do you want to know?
Next question.
Next question.
Next question. Next question.
I'm not going to answer any questions for you.
Answer my question! The question, jerk!
All right, it is time for Answer the Question. Bilas is here. He'll be on the main set of our coverage of the draft tomorrow night. I have some direct questions. I'm expecting answers from you, big fella. Here we go.
I'm ready.
We all know who the first three, we expect to be the first three names called tomorrow night. Morant and Zion and RJ Barrett. After those three, who was the best pro in this draft?
I think it's DeAndre Hunter of Virginia. He is long-armed. I think he's the best defender in this draft. You know, people say all the time he can guard multiple positions. He can actually guard 1 through 5 and has done it. In the NCAA tournament, they put him on Carson Edwards. Tony Bennett put him on Carson Edwards, tried to slow him down, and he did for a short period of time. And he can shoot it. Is he going to stay an over 40% three-point shooter in the NBA? Probably not. But he can shoot it and is very, very talented.
Quickly, why do I feel like I'm hearing Darius Garland's name a lot more than I'm hearing his?
Because Darius Garland can really shoot it, and he's a point guard. Mike Schmitz, I think, told you he looks a lot like Damian Lillard with how he's projected in the NBA. That's pretty tantalizing. But I rank DeAndre Hunter just a bit ahead.
Okay, so those are names we expect to hear early. Next question. Who is the player whose name is going to be called too late tomorrow night?
I think it's Rui Hachimura of Gonzaga. He is still very young in the game, but he is big, he is really strong, and very, very skilled. Terrific pull-up jump shooter. You saw him earlier in the season in Maui take on Duke and played very, very well in a game that Gonzaga won. I think Hachimura has got a very high ceiling. I rank him 11th overall in this draft among prospects. That even may be too low. He's a very, very talented player. Another I would say is Nasir Little of North Carolina, who didn't show, I think, all the talent that he has last year. He kind of struggled picking up the system at North Carolina. But I think Nasir Little's going to be a really good player, and Kevin Porter Jr. also from USC.
All right, there are a lot of names that we'll hear tomorrow night. But, of course, the top three that we've been talking about, it feels like forever now, are Zion, Ja, and RJ Barrett. So here's the final question. In 5 years' time, which draft prospect this year will we be saying is the best NBA player?
I'll give you this with a caveat. I think it's Zion Williamson. Otherwise, we wouldn't rank him number 1. But how many times have we seen, where did Kawhi Leonard get taken? 15.
Right.
Klay Thompson got taken 11th. We've seen so many times where we've had players, we projected them at a certain level based on who else was in the draft, and they took off on you. You know, the truth is we don't know. We like to think that we do. We have to sell that we do when everybody says expert this, expert that. But it's really hard. And the NBA GMs, they do an amazing job of gathering intel and making these decisions, but nobody knows. And if you look at the NFL draft and compare it to the NBA draft, the NFL makes just as many mistakes, if not more, and they have 5 years to look at these guys. The NBA has 1. It is a totally different animal in the NBA, and I think there are far more hits than misses.
But you do believe it'll be Zion. I want to bring
Zion.
Jay and Jalen back in here with the very same question. Jay, Will, I'll start with you because you're standing closer to me at the moment.
I like how JB is always so practical. Nobody really knows.
Nobody knows.
5 years from right now, which player in this draft will we be saying is the best NBA player?
I think a lot depends upon fit, but I will say watching RJ Barrett last year train out in LA with Drew Hanlon, he was going against Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid and was just not holding his own. He was putting in work. So I think, look, Duke ranked 328th in the country in three-point shooting percentage, which doesn't allow gaps to open up for him to drive because you don't have people to kick the ball out to, which he had to be a volume shooter. But I think individually, his game is really built for the next level.
Never checked out of one game. He took on the most responsibility on that team, played sick, played hurt, and was in the top 10 in scoring, rebounding, and assists in the league as a freshman.
1A Zion, 1B RJ Barrett. Obviously, you got to include Ja Morant in this conversation as well. But
you are going Zion.
I'm going Zion.
I mean, because it feels to me like what we're banking on is that there's going to be some sort of transformational quality about this guy. He does things, to the point you made when we first talked about him, that we've never seen anyone do before. But it isn't obvious to me how he translates in the NBA, exactly what it is he does. It's very obvious to me what RJ Barrett does. RJ Barrett, to me, is James Harden.
Yeah, I agree. But RJ Barrett was the presumptive #1 pick coming into the season.
Right.
But after you saw Zion Williamson in Canada and after that, he's a phenomenon. And I mean, we talked about this before. You can't wrap your head around how good this guy is. And I think he's going to translate right away because he does everything. He truly is positionless. He impacts the game at almost every level. The only thing he doesn't do at a proficient level is shoot the ball from the perimeter. He can make a standstill jump shot, but you give him some space, he's going to take up that space, get downhill on you, and he's not going to run over you. He'll get by you, and then he'll go over you.
You know, can I just throw out there, I hear the word positionless basketball a lot. At the end of the day, they are still playing positions. Can he guard Nikola Jokic? Can he guard Joel Embiid? Is he all, people are talking.
I mean, he can fight them. Draymond Green did for multiple possessions.
The answer is yes.
He can guard those. He can go out there and guard the true fives in the NBA today.
That's not an appetite as a coach that you want him to have a healthy diet of guarding Joel Embiid, especially one-on-one, because he doesn't have the height necessarily to do it. Draymond Green is special at doing it, but I think I'm with these guys. Zion is a real special prospect. This guy's jumping off both legs, Greeny, finishing with both hands. He's going to get an effort, and I think he's a smart kid.
I still think his skill set needs to be better refined as well, because he's not going to be able to jump over everybody at the next level as well. And there is a reckless abandonment that he plays with, and at 285 pounds, you get a little bit worried about what if he comes. We've seen players come down the wrong way. Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
If he's in traffic, you know, with that weight, that could be something long term.
Injury concerns are one thing, and look, the one thing you said he doesn't do.